Welcome, one and all. It is United versus everybody. It is the Kickabout. You guys know the drill by now. The Kickabout is where Dylan and I will chat about just the latest and greatest in Manchester United related news that's going on the last week. News, match stuff, rumors, all of it. You guys know the drill by now. Dylan, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing well. Hopefully you're doing well, staying warm. Anybody else in America, in the Midwest, or getting hit with this cold spell? Hopefully you're
It's
staying warm.
it's the worst. It was single digits all day yesterday, barely double digits today. I
Wind
went out
chill
and
bringing it
shoveled
negative.
I shoveled snow at like 9, and I was only out there for probably 15, maybe 20 minutes tops, and I already just couldn't feel my toes, couldn't feel my fingers. It sucked. It sucked. But you were off in the Windy City this past weekend where it was probably even colder, unfortunately.
Yeah, we stayed inside as much as we could.
Yeah, no,
Did some
that's
fun
sad.
things too, but inside
Yeah.
was a good
Hey,
call.
family show, family show.
Yeah.
Um, So we're going to chat a little bit tonight about the Derby. We're going to chat a little bit about some January midfield links. We're going to chat a little bit as well. I know you guys are probably tired of it, but Dylan and I haven't discussed it yet. We're going to chat a little bit about ex-United players as pundits and some of the drama that's been going on because everybody's talking about it still. I don't really like spending too much time talking about it. So I'm not necessarily, I don't think tonight we're going to get into the nitty gritty. I think we're going to maybe widen the lens a little bit and talk about ex players as pundits in general, not just what was going on, because we've talked about it ad nauseum. But I'm excited. Dylan, are you excited?
I'm excited. I'm ready. Been waiting for.
Scale scale of 1 to 10 though. How badly do you wish you were back in Manchester now that you've gone?
Oh man, I well Jeff and his wife and daughter were over there this weekend, and they said it was in the mid 40s, and I'm like, couldn't be
Yeah.
like that for us while we're there. Like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah. I was texting Jeff about that. Or one of our friends was at the Derby. He had like a hospitalities package, right?
nice.
I
Yeah,
think that's what he was telling me.
yeah,
Nice. Yeah, that's awesome. I think he was in one of those suites that where like Robbo walks around and like says hi
yeah,
to people and stuff. Basically, right behind where we were for the Newcastle
yeah.
match. But anyway, let's jump in, you guys. Make sure you guys are liking the video. Please make sure you subscribe to the channel. We are on the road to 3K as well, so any little bit helps. Go ahead and hype those old videos too when you're out, when you're thinking about it on your mobile or your cell phone, as we say here in the States. um, don't forget to 20% off in the UVE store. I went ahead and extended that for everybody, so you can get yourself something for 20% off. New designs in there as well, courtesy of this guy over here. Recommended that I maybe think about doing something for Newton Heath. So we went ahead and did that. So go ahead and check that out. I'm not going to spoil it for you. You guys get to discover it on your own. I do have a scouting report coming out later on this week too. Heads up though, so this scouting report just fine, but literally just announced yesterday that Opta, who does a lot of stats and stuff, they had a partnership with like FBref and StatWise, and Opta ended their partnership with those websites
Mhm.
for I think some sort of contract thing. I don't know, but scouting reports will look different moving forward. As you guys know, FBref was a big website for people like me who like to do a little bit of casual scouting. And since they no longer have access, like literally you go to FBref, there's no information on there anymore. It's literally a worthless website now. So really frustrated. But thankfully, FootMob does percentiles as well now, so we'll be doing all that. What big up, box? Good to see you again, my
Go
friend.
Mark.
Hope you're doing well. But so big up, Bruno. Don't know if you saw Premier
Mm.
League Player of the Week.
Well deserved. Well deserved.
Yeah, I think Dorgu was up for it as well, if I
Mhm.
remember correctly. Wasn't Dorgu Premier League Player of the Week when we were there?
Yep.
Um,
For the Newcastle match.
yeah, we were. Man, that was. I think we were right by that too when we scored too. I think that was our end.
We were. It was awesome.
That was awesome. So yeah, big up Bruno. Just I love just the salt and the hate from rivals when we do this. But Bruno had an amazing match
Mhm.
against City, obviously at the weekend. We're going to talk a little bit about that here shortly. But yeah, Bruno, world class. The women's team beat Arsenal 1-0 today in the League Cup semis. So that means they're going to go play Chelsea in the final. I think that's middle of March. I think is when that takes place. I read too. This is the fourth year in a row that the women's team has reached a cup final, a domestic cup
Mhm.
final. So big up the women's team, man, holding down the fort, even though the men's team's kind of shit in the bed.
And again, and we've mentioned this before, big up to Mark Skinner, big up to that whole organization.
Yeah,
They are just doing extremely well. They don't get backed as well. They signed a couple more players I just saw over the last week for
yeah,
reinforcements. Keep it up, ladies. You're doing fantastic.
you're doing fantastic. I would love it if we could beat Arsenal this weekend as well. That would be great.
Oh, wouldn't that be great?
The double would be
Oh,
excellent. Speaking of also another big wins, the under 21s beat Sporting 3-2 this week in what's called the Premier League International Cup. I don't know what that means. It's Premier League, but it's also international. So it's like a Champions League kind of because they played Sporting. Um, Really weird. I don't understand it. But James Scanlon got himself a hat trick. And his second goal was an absolute screamer from outside the box, find the far post. It reminded me of like an Ole Gunnar Solskjaer goal. Wilcox, Fletcher, and Michael Carrick were all in attendance for that. It was at Lee Sports Village, so I've been there. It's an excellent little spot. Don't know if you've seen this, Dylan, but tons of journalists basically taking photos of Carrick and whatnot at the match, and basically implying, and even some of them just flat out claiming that Ruben Amorim never attended any academy matches, which is, of course, just absolute nonsense. He's attended several. We did a watch along
mm,
last season, and I even commented during the watch along that Ruben Amorim and Wilcox were both at the match. So it's really looking at you, Stephen Railston and Nathan Salt. You guys are on my shit list right now for this bullshit. It's ridiculous. I think people need to chill on
right.
the Amorim hate. The guy's not here anymore. I just don't get it. What are you saying?
I was just saying clickbait. They're just trying to get people to click on stuff. So
I just don't get it, man. Like the guy's gone. He's already sacked. It's been like what 2 weeks, and they're still just like, ooh, and Amorim never went. And I'm like, literally, he's been to multiple academy matches. Yeah, I just don't. And the problem, this is the problem that I have with stuff like this. And I talked about it the other day, on one of the streams, is that like, so someone tagged Jamie Jackson in something. I forget what it was. It was a claim about a midfielder, I think it was, and Jamie Jackson basically commented like, "No, it's not true." Someone did a Grok thing on Twitter, and they're like, "Is this true?" And the Grok was like, "No, he never said this." And Jamie Jackson reposted that Grok thing. So, but the problem is, people will just post stuff and tag people, for no reason. So that's one problem. But then the other problem is journalists just make shit up, man. Like it's just, and people believe it, and people start retweeting it and reposting it, and it just snowballs from there. And for sure, everyone believes it, and I'm like, no, it's not true. But what are you gonna do, man? I think again, people need to chill. But yes, Amram did go to several academy matches, so it is what it is. Ooh, let's talk about the Derby, man. Um, 'Cause we haven't spoken a whole lot about it. We text here and there during the matches and whatnot, but not a good week for Man City, right? What are your thoughts on
great
all
week
that?
for us.
Great week
Loving
for
every part of it. I
oh
saw
shit.
I saw that score yesterday. I was like, yes.
It was a thing of beauty.
Oh,
It was a thing of
and
beauty.
Rodri gets sent off. Oh,
Yeah, that was just cherry on top, man. Yeah, Pep, dude, he just is not, he can't hang. So obviously, if you guys didn't follow the Champions League, Bodo Glimt, tiny little Bodo Glimt, whose squad cost 49 million, and City squad is worth well over $1 billion. Tiny little Bodo Glimt, negative sub-zero temperatures, tiny little stadium, beat Man City 3-1 in Champions League yesterday. It was Bodo Glimt's first ever win in the Champions League, too, by the way. And if you watched it, you would have seen that City were completely dominated. It looked very similar to the Derby, quite frankly, because City, like Pep had, and this is something Pep's not really done well. He cannot handle counterattacking sides. Ollie had his number. We had his number over the weekend. We absolutely destroyed him. And Bodo Glimt played very similar style. They played very counterattacking, get that ball wide, get it in the box. Ho had 2 goals, and then Jens Petter Hauge, who I scouted a couple months back on the channel, grabbed the third goal for Bodo Glimt as well. So hilarious. As if Snow says, I really like your scout report on Hauge. Well, I thank you. That was serendipitous, the timing of that. I appreciate that, my friend. I do. I'm not gonna lie. So I do. I do probably do. I'm a little bit of a nerd, but I do put a lot of time into those. So I appreciate there are people that enjoy them. So I do appreciate that. That actually hits me on the feels. Thank you. Buck says City need another signing, don't they? Don't they? Though they probably will get one as well.
Mm-hmm.
They signed Marmouche last January, and he's not been doing great. Yeah, I guarantee they'll just turn around and sign another attacker, and he'll get
Yep.
sold or something in the summer.
Yep.
That's just the way they work over there, man. Um, on the Derby though, what are your thoughts on the Derby when you watched it? Because you and I haven't had a chance to talk. I assume you watched it. You know, you're in
Oh yeah.
Chicago.
Yeah.
What were your
I
thoughts on there? What did you like? What did you notice? What were your overall impressions of just Carrick and the players and everything?
So number one, the whole vibe with the team seemed more confident, and they seemed a big thing that Amorim was trying to do was keep them compact. Well, they would say compact, but they wouldn't be confident in it because they would be second guessing everything. What and as you're going to show here, this looks more. What is that? Yeah, there's 6-4 right there for what we've got there. It's all compact. We're cutting off passing lanes. We stuck with runners, or we called out runners. There was more communication I saw. We had defenders like you have in the circle right there. We had defenders constantly around the ball. Um, so you could see that there was a looseness to the team. They didn't seem confused. They didn't seem like they were second guessing themselves. They knew what they were going to do,
Hmm.
and they executed, and that was huge.
Yeah, I
Just
really
from a
liked
standpoint
how.
for the team.
Yeah, I agree. I really like how compact Carrick has us. You can see we're cutting off literally every single option to play through the middle of the pitch. And this is something that if you guys watch the Carrick tactic video that I did a couple weeks back, this is something that I pointed out. And he forces that ball wide. And then, like I showed you, when we did force it wide, we just simply closed off those options as well. We've got 4 players, and Doku has no place to go. And even if you were to try to square that ball anywhere, we've got that covered. Dalot's down here, McGuire's back here, Bruno's tracking back, Cobby's back here as well. Like he's got it covered, man. um, so yeah, you're spot on. I totally agree, man. What else you got for me, Dylan? What else did you like about the Derby?
From that, and then from that is which is what we've been calling out for so long is like when we get the ball back from stripping it or whatever it is from City, we were quick on the counter. And that was something we hadn't been doing before, and we got numbers back. We may have just had Mbumo or an Ahmad or Mbumo and Cunha before. Now we
Yeah.
had numbers. We had at least 4 almost every time going back. It was weird. I was happy about it, but I
It's
was just like,
weird.
I don't know what to think about that. Like this is what we've been calling for. like,
No, I mean,
um,
that's exactly what led to Mbumo's goal here. I mean, this is off the corner. We Mbumo, so I didn't show it in this clip, but Mbumo, like little deft touch,
yep,
gets it past. I think that's Ruben Diaz that it might be
yep,
something I can't tell from this grainy picture, but and then it's literally 4 United players just busting a gut. Dorgu's gonna make up that distance. Bruno is sprinting, obviously, and Mbumo is gonna kind of read that situation. He's gonna cut across. Ahmad's gonna keep. I think that's Foden over there, gonna keep
yep,
him honest, and it just works. And then like I showed a clip afterwards. Bruno does. They're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting there. All Bruno does is a little bit of a shoulder drop, and
mhm,
that's enough to put Kashanov off, just enough to give that half second for Bruno to lay that ball in for Mbumo. It's basically a carbon copy of that goal we scored against Liverpool in the FA Cup quarterfinal a couple years back. It was perfect goal. It was like classic United goal, and that's why I'm that's why I'm rocking the '08 jersey, because it was reminiscent
yep.
of 2008.
And it was a thing of beauty to watch that one. But the rest of their breaks, when they'd get the ball, um, they were decisive with it. Now they might not have worked every time, but
Yeah,
they looked more confident in their passing, and they were going for passes. How about in the first half? I was rewatching the clips today at work because at lunch, not during actual work time,
caught you.
and and how about that? Ahmad brought, I forget, it was like the first time, sometime in the first half, like 20th minute or something. Like Ahmad brought the ball up, they were countering, laid it off to Bruno, and Bruno pinged it over to Dorgu.
Oh yeah,
It was one of the first chances we had, and I was like, Dorgu, if he didn't take that touch, that's in. If he just
yeah.
took that one touch, kind of tried to control. If he would have one time that would have been nice. But
Yes, it's nice to see
I
Bruno
mean,
playing in
Bruno
the
just
10
like a
again,
man
right?
possessed. Yeah, he
Yeah.
looked thrilled, like he's been released from prison.
Well, he looked more
He
like
was just ready
he looked more
to go.
like an orchestrator now, like the guy directing traffic rather than just the guy who's gonna get the ball forward from a deep midfield position. I read
Mhm,
that in the derby alone, Bruno created more chances against City than both either Odegaard or Florian Wirtz have created in the league all season. Like, just
mhm.
this is back to his best basically, and I couldn't be happier. But I mean, the guy's again leading the chance creation. He's leading the assists. He's got what 9 assists now in the league. It's ridiculous, man. It's insane. Um, but no, I agree.
It's
It
amazing.
was classic United. It was make yourself difficult to break down, and then just immediately just punish him on the counter attack. And I was here for it. There wasn't. I don't know about you, but there wasn't really a period during this match where I was nervous at all. Um, we looked comfortable. We looked like we knew what we were doing, and we looked like that we just knew that we were going to get it done as well. I think there was
Well,
confidence there.
yeah, and like you're saying, they didn't lose focus. They stayed together, and even when they went the goal up, they didn't. They didn't. It didn't come down. Like they kept the pressure up. They kept the intensity
Yeah,
up. And how good was it to have Leacha and Maguire in front of Lamans to have that level of security?
yeah, it's going to be nice when we get everybody back. Mazraoui's back now. Dalot still probably not quite ready yet from what I've seen. Did not train this. What's up, Minnie? Minnie. That was my
Crying
cat
because
voice.
she wants my attention.
Cats, man.
But
Yeah, I box like box said. I've said this how many times. There's so many people in the United fans who just don't rate Bruno, and I just don't get it. I really don't get it. I don't know what more they want. I don't know what they're watching. I don't know. I really don't know. There's all this
I
stuff, and then they want to focus on the one thing that he didn't do, or the one aspect of his personality that they don't like, and they want to completely ignore everything else. So, what were we
yeah,
saying? Go ahead.
I was gonna say his play you can't take away from him. He's phenomenal. He's really improved in, he would kind of take himself out of plays a little bit when he was first here because he would be like whinging on the ground. He doesn't
Yeah,
do that anymore. He still goes after it. It's more controlled. He
yeah,
knows when to go after everything. And I mean that's what we want in a captain. And Bruno has seized the opportunity. He seized control of that. He's the leader in the locker room. And that's what we've needed. And to have like having Leacha back too, that adds another level of consistency and someone to lead the team. So
we had Mbumo back. We had Ahmad back as well. So and
huge.
Maguire getting that start as well. It looks everything's kind of clicking. Mainu starting and looking good. Had an excellent match. Big up Michael Bell, the butcher, my man. Welcome to the channel, big man. Yes, Licha. I don't get it. We're going to talk about Licha in a little while because, like, what Paul Scholes and Nicky Butt were smoking before they did their podcast. I have no
Yeah,
idea, but
right,
it was embarrassing.
right.
Was this the best we've looked in a Manchester derby since you can remember in a while?
Yeah, this is the best we've looked since. Well, the FA Cup, we looked really good.
Yeah,
Um, but
that was a very controlled performance. So this is probably the most exciting, dominant performance that I've seen
yeah,
from
I
us in a
don't think
while.
we've had one like this in a while. So
Where does this rank that match kind of rank, or at least that performance in terms of just United performances over the last 10 years or so? Where would you put this one?
that's one in terms of the derby itself. That's one of the top ones.
What about
For
matches in general?
in terms of exciting, I mean, I think it was more like we loved every part of it because it was City.
Yeah,
We've had more exciting matches: the Leon match, the Liverpool
yeah, Liverpool.
quarterfinal.
This is
Um,
probably the best performance for me that I've seen from us in a long time in
yeah,
terms of what you think when you think United, like, and you picture what you think like how we play, like
yeah.
this is probably up there. You're right though. The Liverpool FA Cup quarterfinal is probably my favorite match in a
I
while.
watched
That
that
one.
on loop just because I like to see Liverpool fans cry.
Nice. Big up, Michael's from Warrington, UK. Big
Oh,
up, Michael. Well, welcome, man. I know it's late for you. We appreciate you stopping by, man. Dylan and I were just out in Manchester a couple weeks ago. I don't know where Warrington is, but big up, man. Welcome to the channel. Always like seeing new faces popping up in the chat. So a lot of things interesting in that match. So you and I were at Newcastle. We watched Dogu as a right winger. This match, Dogu played as a left winger, and I asked the question on the channel and the follow up and the reaction is: do you think Doku is better as a winger than he is as a fullback?
It does seem that way, doesn't it? He seems, I don't know. He just seems freer. Like when he has the defensive responsibilities, he seems like he's second guessing himself. And maybe it's because he's young and he's still trying. He's not trying to. He's trying not to make mistakes. But man, when he's going out there and just running like that, run in off Cunha's pass out in the, I forget whatever second goal. He's the only one who made that run, and he positioned himself perfectly.
Well, the City, I don't know what the City defenders are doing. I will say, to my credit, I mean, again, it's going to sound like a humble brag. I did say in the match preview, like, their defenders are weak. Like, they can be got at. We need to just get at them. Like, it sounds like classic Fergie tactics, but City, even when City are at full strength, their defense is not great. Guardiola is iffy at best. How many goals have we scored against him? Like, just because he can't handle a long ball. Diaz is like so hot and cold. They've got youngsters back there. Just take advantage of it. It sounds like cruel when you say it like that. Like, take advantage of the youngsters, but that's what you got to do, man. You
Oh,
got an
exactly.
advantage. You have to utilize it.
Yep.
Michael says, followed United since 67. Big up. This was my favorite Derby win,
Nice.
made this 67-year-old. Well, big up, man. This was a good win. I think, yeah, obviously the FA Cup final was excellent. We've had some really good ones under Ollie. Even Jose got some exciting ones, Chris Smalling with winners off corners and whatnot. This one is up there for me in terms of derbies for sure.
Oh
But
yeah.
yeah, 67, big up, man. We talk about the 68 final every now and then on this channel. I do watch the 68 final a couple times a year on MUTV. If you guys want to watch a player who goes under the radar, go watch Aston in that 68 final. The guy was an absolute world class player on the wing. So you think Dorgu maybe looks more comfortable as a winger? It probably helps when your manager's not saying that anytime you're on the ball,
Yeah.
it's nervous, like Amorim said before. um, he's young, like I've said. Remember there were tons of people, and I've got receipts, tons of people slagging off Dorgu since we signed him. He's not it. Well, not convinced him. Like, he was 20 years old when we bought him, guys. He just
Mhm.
turned 21 a couple months ago. Give him time, let him adjust, and I think he has. And like I've said, he has so many of the intangibles, the unteachable stuff, that the effort, the energy, the commitment, the fight. The other stuff will get polished as he gets older. The crossing, the kind of reading of the situation, that stuff will get improved, and that's going to be down to coaching as well. And Dorgu's going to have to be putting in some time on the pitch on his own, doing some extras. It's not enough to just do a couple times of training with the squad. You got to do some extra stuff
Oh
too.
yeah.
Buck says, I prefer a proper attacker. Yeah, I probably would still. I'm not. No, I don't think anyone's saying let's start in there and that's our left wing
Oh no.
sorted. Like, we still need a left winger because we sold all the wingers that we had, right? But
Hey, but maybe we can get somebody that'll buy in and not
yeah,
have their own interview staff ready to go to.
the problem is going to be manager situation, because players are going to want to know who the managers are before
Yeah.
they sign for a club, and so that'll be
Yeah.
difficult unless we tell people stuff behind the scenes. But even then, you run the risk of that getting leaked if you
Yeah.
tell agents this such and such happened. So Bach says Dorgu at fullback. Yeah, honestly, if you ask me, I'd probably just say no. I'm going to stick with Dorgu as a left back because I think
Mhm.
he offers a lot on back defensively off the ball as well, and I'd want someone who's a proper left winger on that left hand side.
But to have the versatility for him to shift up if necessary is nice.
Yeah, yeah, it's
Yeah.
nice to have. He can play right back, he can play right wing, he can play, and that's good. And it's a common theme we're seeing from a lot of these signings under Ineos is
Mhm.
versatility. Should Dalot have seen a red?
So watching that back live, it didn't seem like it was that bad. Watching it back, I thought, oh yeah, he's getting a red, just because we've seen that get called as a red so many times. Studs hit up,
Yeah,
hit the leg, kind
yeah.
of
If
push
it,
it
if it were if it
down.
were Casemiro, he'd be deported by now.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I was shocked when they just said, nope, it's a yellow card. I'm like, I'm not going to argue it. We got lucky
Yeah.
there.
It day of and in the initial match reaction, I was like, "Oh, he's lucky. He's a lucky boy.
Oh
He's
yeah.
definitely a lucky boy." I watched the match a couple more times, and like Bach said, Howard Webb said no red. He's happy. I watched it back, and Dallo actually gets a touch on the ball
Okay.
before he makes any contact with Doku. Let's be honest, the contact wasn't anything.
No.
Dallo didn't come flying in. He put his foot up
and he just came
deflect the
down.
ball, and it just happened to graze Doku's knee. Doku, I mean, since Dalot got the ball, Doku should have seen a yellow for his knee
Simulate.
fouling Dalot's foot. Let's be honest with you. um, he should have seen yellow for just diving like a little bitch, though. I'll be honest with you. But yeah, I mean, so yes, I agree. In the moment, I'm like, oh, he's lucky. Watched it back. I'm like, all right, no, I'm good with it.
Yeah.
Totally fine. I'm surprised that Doku, like, so Dalot's on a yellow super. I'm surprised Doku just didn't take him on for the rest of the match.
I thought he was going to be a weak spot for the team, and yet
Yeah.
no. Yeah, they really tried to get Holland involved and try to go through him, and he just wasn't getting anything going because we were stopping him.
Yeah.
Kudos to each of there.
And I mean, this is the key with Holland. You don't have to mark Holland out of the game. You have to just prevent the service to him. So if he got very few touches, and then I looked at the numbers for their match against Bodø/Glimt, and it's literally the same. Anytime City have a shit performance, you can almost like turn this into a drinking game. You go into Foot Mob, you click on Holland, and sure enough, every time it says Holland had the fewest touches of any outfield
Mhm.
player, and that's exactly what happened against Bodø/Glimt. If you stop the service to Holland, then City have nothing. They literally have nothing because Doku is not in good form right now. Semenyo got shut down as well. Like all you gotta do is stop the service. It helps that a lot of their players are just in poor form.
Yeah.
What does Michael say? My dad let me stay up for the 68 final. Yes,
Nice.
Aston was brilliant. Nice. That's lucky. See, I'm super jealous of United fans who got to watch guys like Best and Law and Charlton and Nobby Styles and all these guys play like live. I think that's so. You and I went to obviously the museum when we were there. We did the stadium tour, and obviously the museum you get to see a lot more stuff. I mean, you and I probably spent an hour and a half doing the museum. It was nuts. Yeah, it was awesome and tons and tons of history. If you guys ever go to Old Trafford, make a point to go do the stadium tour. Starting in the summer, you actually get to go do a Carrington tour if you want to as well.
That's
So
a
that could be fun. Oh yeah, it's definitely yeah, we'll be doing that for sure. um, so what did you make of Michael Carrick's first game in charge?
He checked every box on that one. He came in,
You know,
he told them he got the training right, he got the tactics right, he got the subs right. He got a performance from a team that was kind of lost for identity, and he kind of put it back together a little bit. First match, hopefully that continues. We're going to see at the Arsenal match, see how it goes. But, and more so, we're going to see when they play Fulham. But
I like that.
I thought he did well.
You say identity because I did feel like this was United identity on the weekend. This was United. This felt more like a United performance than I've seen from us in a long, long time. In terms of just the style of play, like you're saying, this was definitely United. I like that.
Yeah, and you could see the players responded to that. Like you could tell they weren't second, like we said earlier, they weren't second guessing things. They were intense with what they were doing. They were focused, and they held each other accountable, and were responsible for what they were doing. And we weren't seeing that with Amorim, and so I almost wonder what was happening there. Was this like a subtle way that they were saying to get rid of him? I don't know, but
I feel like part of me thinks Amorim just overcomplicated things a little bit. He seemed to me like a combination of almost like Pep and Jose in a little bit in the way he was playing. He's very stubborn, very kind of becoming a little bit prickly later on, but also very almost overly tactical, which Pep is guilty of many, many times of kind of doing a little too much. And that kind of, to me, struck me a little bit with Amorim. Big up, Stephanie. Welcome back. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a good day. Hopefully you're warmer than we are. It's like single digits all day here. Big up. But if you guys watch the Carrick tactic video that I did when it looked like he was going to be named interim boss, like, and one of the things two things. One thing he's known for, and former players at Middlesbrough have said this, he has a way of making things simple, like clear, taking complicated things and just kind of making them easy to understand by explaining them in different ways. And he's also very calm. If you look at any of his former Middlesbrough players talk about him, and I said this in that video, the one word that came up with every single quote that I've read is calm. He brings calm. And I think that you could see that kind of in the squad too. Is kind of permeating the players, like you were saying. It looked like they just kind of knew what they were doing. Not once did we look like we were kind of frantic, kind of on the back foot, chasing shadows or anything like this. Like we just look like we just were totally in control of not only the match but our thoughts and our emotions.
Yeah. And for a team like United with how much everything going on, to have that sense of calm at the helm had to have been something that just told the whole team, like, okay, we got this. We don't have to worry anymore.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that having that on the touchline is nice. I think
yeah.
that sends a good message. And there's a thing in psychology. It's called neurobiology. We're gonna have a little nerd moment here, but basically, neurobiology says that your emotions, like, they kind of impact other people's emotions. Basically, think about any time you can sense that someone is a little tense or stressed. Even if they don't say anything, it kind of starts to make you feel a little tense and stressed as well, and that the opposite can be true of things like calm and stuff. And so I do feel like that's a big factor that Carrick brought. Michael says he saw Best, Law, and Charlton live regularly, met them plenty of
Right.
times. Jeez, absolute legend, man. That's awesome, dude. Dylan and I met, we met Scholesy and Robbo a couple weeks ago when we were there. So that was kind of a dear diary moment for the both of us. Starting a little collection of selfies with these legends, man. Scholesy he lost a couple cool points this past week though for me.
Oh yeah.
But that's awesome, Michael. Big up, man. Fox says if Carrick was a player, I'd imagine he'd have played this same. Oh, he was. People,
So
Carrick's got to be one of the most underrated players that we've had. He's class, man. He was absolute class. I've got his autobiography behind me as well, and not only is he class, he's humble to almost to a fault. And if you read Sir Alex's biography as well, I think there's a whole chapter on Carrick, and he said too, like he doesn't have a lot of self confidence. Like, he doesn't think too highly of himself. He doesn't think that he's as good maybe as everyone else does, and I can respect that. But I don't. If it ever gets to the point where it's kind of self deprecating, then I'm like, dude, no, we need to sit you down. But yeah,
yeah.
Carrick is one of my favorite players.
But just one point on him when he was playing. I mean, that we talked about the sense of calm on the touchline. I remember watching when he was out there. He was just under the radar, but you never were concerned
Yeah.
about him not being in the right spot or marshaling the defense or picking the right pass. It was just, yep, he's going to do it.
Yeah.
It was that sense of calm. Pretty much, we have not had in the midfield since he left.
I feel like for me, when I think of holding midfielders like your Busquets, those kind of guys, the hallmark I feel like in a match of good holding midfielders is when you don't hear their name a whole lot,
Mm-hmm.
because it's just they're always there. They're always an option to help ease the pressure. If someone is under pressure, they're an option there. They're always they keep things moving. It's just this point of constant. It's a constant, like in chemistry or physics. It's a constant. They're always there. They're always just when you need them, where you need them, how you need them. That's where they are, and it's just boom. They're like a migrating little bounce pass option. All you're doing is just feed them the ball, and they're going to feed it to somebody else. And I love that about holding midfield. Holding midfield is one of the most difficult positions to play. It requires so much footballing IQ, so much composure, so much just reading of the game and just mentality. Because you've got to be the guy to kind of set, again, kind of we're talking about him on the touchline. You've got to be the guy who sets that tone for everybody else. You are the calmer in that. Sorry, I went on a little bit of a detour there.
Oh, you did.
Stephanie says, Carrick defo kept things simplistic, told players to enjoy and express themselves. Handbrake well and truly released. And that's a good point. That's kind of like maybe I think where we're getting at is it did look like the players, it looked like everybody just kind of had this, like this weight kind of off their shoulder. Under Amorim, it constantly felt to me like we were playing worried about making a mistake, worried about what happens when we lose the ball here, what happens, we're too afraid to do stuff. And I feel like Carrick's like, if you make a mistake, it's fine, we'll get another chance, it's not a big deal. Yeah, I liked what I see. Let me get caught up on the chat here. Big up, you guys. Make sure you guys are liking, please. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel if you haven't already done. Box says Amorim was a walking tension. I do feel like a lot of that he's only 40. He's only been managing for a couple of years, and so we can say, okay, well, Carrick's only, but they're very different people as well. It's just the way it is. It's like some people are like, we don't want Bruno to whine. We'd like him to be this kind of captain. Well, there's different types of personalities. I'm not gonna bother about that. Yeah, he was underused by England box. That was a tough time. Michael says, my worst derby was a 74 defeat at Old Trafford when Dennis Law scored, forced City to send us down. Took me a week to get a ticket. Took me a month to get over that one. Yeah. There are some, you got to take the good with the bad. There's an old Middle Eastern proverb that says all sunshine and no rain only makes a desert. So you do have to take the negatives, and they make things that much more enjoyable too when you get Dylan, are you all in on Carrick for permanent manager like a lot of United fans?
Not yet.
Not yet.
No,
What if he
gotta
wins
show
every
me
game?
more.
What if he wins every game for the rest of the season?
If he wins every game and we see like player growth and tactical growth and things like that, then yeah, I can get behind that. But like I said, the game, and I was telling because some of my friends at work are big supporters of one of them is just a coach, and a couple others are of teams that shall not be named. And
well, why are they your friends?
We need to all get through the drudgery. I was saying Arsenal will probably play pretty well. I think it's going to be Arsenal are probably going to attack, and so that might help us out. Fulham's going to be the one where they're going to sit back, and what's the option when they sit in the low block? Because you can't counterattack that. What are we going to do? And
that's when you're going to need to probably. I would maybe then shift Manu a little higher up the pitch, and you know when you've got a team sitting in a low block, you need movement. You need a lot of runs. You need a lot of movement. You need decoy runs. You need to be. Everyone's got to be aware, and release that ball.
And that's a perfect match for Manu to do well, and Shesko could be a target man for crosses. But I want to see the adjustments get made, and Fulham's going to tell me a lot.
Yeah, the trick with that one too is it does leave you a little open to a counterattack if you've got one of your pivot midfielders kind of getting up there involved, and that does what that means is Casemiro is going to be our only midfielder back. So our rest defense needs to be good, the recovery needs to be good, the tracking back needs to be good. Obviously, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it later this week. We'll be doing a match preview for Arsenal. We've also got that scouting report coming out for you guys as well. And I think the key with Arsenal is going to be don't give away cheap corners and free kicks, because they will. It's like we're second, I think, right now in the league for goals scored from set pieces. Arsenal are, of course, first, but they don't really do much else if they don't score from set pieces. So, spoiler alert.
And remember, one of their highest goal scorers this year is own goal. So.
Yes. Gyökeres finally got himself a couple goals recently, so I think, but money well. I think that he went to the wrong club, man. I think he should have gone to United, but it is what it is. Steph says Arsenal and City are both fragile if they concede first. Yeah, we definitely can't concede first. We definitely can't give away cheap corners. Lamens is going to need to come off his line like immediately. We can't let balls get into the box because Declan Rice is deadly on corners.
Yep.
So I agree with you. I'm like right now. If you told me, if you asked me, like, do you give Carrick the permanent job? I'd say no. It's one game, so everybody chill out.
Yeah, calm down.
Everybody chill out. So Bodo just beat this City side. I'm not saying Carrick's not doing a good job. I'm not saying the players. I'm just saying let's all chill out for a second here. And the reason I say no is. It has nothing to do with Carrick. Even if you went on to win every single match, I'd still be like, It has nothing to do with Carrick, and it has everything to do with the Ineos, because it lets them off the hook. If we appoint Carrick because he had a couple of good matches or that went on a good run, what that means is that we had no plan whatsoever, which I do not accept. We cannot. That cannot be the plan, is no plan. And then if Carrick gets it, then we're just winging it, because it looks like we've just been winging it already. We can't keep doing that. And so, because right now I really hope they're not in a situation where they're sitting there like, well, let's just wait and see. Well, maybe he could if he does well. Because again, that means we're not talking to anybody. That means we're not being proactive. We're not doing. I mean, we've already know they had no plan. They literally sacked Amorim. threw Fletcher in, and then grabbed Carrick. Like, there's no plan whatsoever. Ineos have been winging it this whole time, which is why I am a big Ineos out guy.
Oh yeah.
They're not criminals like the Glazers. They are just incompetent. Jason Wilcox is incompetent. I did that whole video last week on directors of football that we need to look at to replace Jason Wilcox. You guys can go ahead and check that out. I have about 5 options on there.
100%.
Referee is Craig Pawson, I believe. Stephanie?
Yep. Craig Pawson. Just looked it up.
I remember
Paul Tierney's
correctly.
on VAR.
Paul Tierney. Uh-oh.
Paul Tierney on VAR. Craig Pawson is the referee. So
you notice how we're not like Liverpool fans and we don't complain when Paul Tierney's doing stuff. Those fucking whingers. So what if Carrick wins every game? Do you think would you be swayed at all by anything?
It's going to depend on. I mean, at that point, I'll be on the full nostalgia train, so I probably shouldn't say it. But
you can never underestimate the nostalgia train as a United fan, man.
Yeah, but I mean, if he wins out, so we'll definitely make Champions League at that point. I mean, he's definitely in the running. He's got to be a candidate at that point, and he's got to be heavily considered just based on what he was able to do.
I mean, I'll throw the same requirements at Carrick as I did at amorim when you and I talked about this a lot. Like, you got to be able to learn from mistakes.
Yep.
You've got to have plans for, like what you said, what if there's a low block? Because that was something you struggled with at Middlesbrough, is finding a way past low block. So you better have been spending the last several years coming up with plans for that. What do you do when things aren't going well? Like, in a match, over the course of a couple match weeks, maybe you start dropping points, like late goals, can see whatever. Because that's what happened at Middlesbrough. He started off really, really well. Got him to a semifinal playoff. Just lost out to Coventry, I believe. Got him to the next season. They didn't do as well, but he did get them to their first Carabao Cup semifinal in like 2 decades. And then it kind of all went tits up. Third year, could not get them out of this funk. They kept dropping points, and they just were going on a horrible run. Like, that's what I mean. You've got to be able to figure out solutions to those things. He's got his coaching staff. Steve Holland's very experienced. I don't know much about Woodgate other than stuff that people don't want to talk about. Johnny Evans, next to no coaching experience, like, whatsoever. And so he's there to kind of be a bridge. I hope he's working with guys like Heaven and whatnot, because I think they could really use it. Euro, just go spend time with Johnny Evans. Like, he was one of our better defenders a couple years ago. Like, go spend time with him.
Yeah, and he's won basically everything. Like, he just learned from him.
Box says, we've seen big names like Jose, LVG ultimately fail. We've seen highly rated, sought after Ten Hag and Amorim fail. Carrick can't do any worse. I mean, it could. I mean, Jose won trophies, Ten Hag won trophies, Van Gaal won trophies. Very easily do worse, but I get your point. I do think there's context. I do think that Jose and Ten Hag, and I don't think they were helped very much. And that we definitely know that a big part of why Amorim basically wanted to leave was because the club wasn't like in a place right now where they were planning to buy anybody in January, which we'll talk about in a little while as well. But I see your point. Michael says, what I did see Saturday was a return to the United DNA. I felt excited for the first time in years, but it's one game. Don't want to go down the Ollie path. Yeah, and like I said, I agree. It has nothing to do with Carrick. It's more about we can't let Ineos off the hook. That's not a plan. That's the opposite of a plan, man. Stephanie says, Steve Holland appointment can turn out to be a shrewd move. Yeah, you do need someone with experience. Holland has a ton of experience. There's a really good video if you guys go on YouTube and look up the Coach's Voice YouTube channel. Really, really, they have a website too. Really, really great. I love Coach's Voice if you want to learn tactics from coaches themselves. There's a video on Steve Holland back when he was at Chelsea explaining the back three under Conte and how it really works and how it can shift. Really, really good. The guy's got loads of experience. And I like having an outside voice every now and then. I don't know how you feel about constantly kind of united people. I think when Amorim came in, it was almost too much the opposite of that. I think you needed someone like a McLaren or a Phelan or something in there. But now we've got an outside voice who's got the experience too. How do you feel about the coaching setup right now?
I mean, I don't know much about him besides Woodgate and Carrick at Middlesbrough, and what we just talked about. So it sounds like you just said it's good to have outside voices come in.
Yeah.
Carrick knows the DNA. He'll be able to hit the right buttons at times. But again, and this would be part of the thing. Like if he was going to get the permanent position, if we hit a rough patch where we lose a match or two, the mood kind of goes down.
Yeah.
What buttons is he going to hit? Is he going to listen to some other opinions from his management team? And is he going to adjust? So that's where those outside voices can be helpful, and hopefully he takes at least consideration into what they're saying.
Yeah, I think I mean, any good leader needs to be receptive to input and feedback. It doesn't mean you just concede everything, but you need to be able to hear it because it does help people. If you're an assistant coach and no one's listening to you, I mean, what's the point of you being there? Putting out cones, like blowing a whistle every now and then, it doesn't really make a difference. So, um, yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm excited. If we can keep playing like that, I feel really good about the rest of the season. I definitely will feel better about Arsenal as well. Arsenal's defense is considerably better than City's is right now, but that's probably the best part of their team right now is their defense. So we'll see how it goes. Um, Speaking of manager, how you feel about all these comments recently from like guys like Glasner and Unai Emery and stuff? It's been like the winter of just managers going rogue in pressers, man. How do you feel about that? That's your boy out there, Glasner, man. That's your
I
guy.
know. I'm losing a little bit of. I'm kind of like I don't really think I want to have you as the manager.
He's losing a little bit too, huh?
Yeah, like dude, I mean, I get it. You're not getting backed and stuff like that, but you keep that. You did like you did at Wolfsburg, and you keep that to yourself, and you don't, and then you just quit at the end of the year. Like that's what, and then everybody is
Just
upset.
bottle it up like a
Yeah,
grown ass man.
exactly. Like you're just now like Gahey's
Don't
gone.
do that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Gahey's gone. Like what's going on here? Like now the whole
Yeah.
team's going to be fractured. Palace are struggling now. So
Yeah. I
I,
mean, I
I'm
feel
like,
for him a bit, man. I feel for him a bit. Like that club, like when Dougie Freeman left, their recruitment got worse and worse and worse.
mhm.
They've been selling a lot of their best. All the players that Dougie Freeman brought in, aside from Wharton, have gone, and they've not really replaced them. He brought in Eze, he brought in Olise, he brought in Gay, he brought in Adam Wharton, and the club just they don't do good enough. Like it's and I feel for him, man. I feel for him. Same way I feel for Iriola at Bournemouth, man. Like it's
They finally
hard.
caught up with him. Yeah.
Yeah, and that you if you're a selling club, your recruitment has to be spot on. Your scouting has to be spot on. Your analysis has to be spot on, or else you're just gonna fall apart. That's why I don't really like. I don't really want to like. I don't understand why selling clubs are the way they are sometimes, but it is what it is. That's why I say success doesn't always mean trophies for some clubs. But yeah, these managers, it's like they're trying to get sacked.
Oh
They
yeah.
just don't care.
I'm one of the things Glasner said. I'm like, dude, like, what are you doing?
I mean, like I said, man, being manager is almost the easiest job in the world, man. You can say whatever you want, you can do whatever you want, and you're still going to walk away with a pocket full of a couple million, man, at the end of the day. It's insane. Thomas Frank hanging on. I thread Thomas Frank. I heard he's like the fourth highest paid manager in the league or something. That's insane, dude. That's insane. Michael says they all want that payout. Yeah, Jose Mourinho is a professional like severance collector. He's not a manager anymore. He's just like, all right, I'm just gonna hang out for a year or so, and then I'm just gonna walk away with a butt ton of money. Box says if Glasner and Emery are buckling under the pressure at Palace and Villa, imagine them being yeah. Glasner, I'm cool on. I'm still taking Emery. I feel bad for Emery. His presser was weird, but I'm like Villa, it's not that is like PSR stuff. There's nothing he can do about that. When they're only buying teenagers, they're selling players, they're not really adequately replacing them, not even doing loans really. Um, and they like and what he's doing still, like that to me is crisis management. Now his presser was weird, but so I don't think Emery's buckling. I just think he's just frustrated with the situation that he's in, but he's excelling beyond. I mean, they lost like the one match. That was it. So
Mhm.
Stephanie says Shea Lacey's return. Yeah, that's right. He was suspended for the Derby as well. But I love Lacey a lot. The Martian, big up, welcome. Oh, sorry. I thought it said the Martian. This is the Martin. Sorry, my bad, brother. So manager trying to force their way out of clubs, becoming just like players. I mean,
Manage your
this is
power.
This is not right. This is not the first time Glasner has made comments like this. And I've been saying it for months. You guys have been following the channel. Like he'll walk away. Like I feel like he'll walk away almost before he sees out the end of it. I'm surprised he's not been sacked, to be honest with you. Um, he's basically just daring the club to sack him at this point.
Oh yeah.
Trying to get that payout before his contract is up in the summer. I see you, Glasner. I see you, Oliver. um, Bach says Emery does well at smaller clubs like Villarreal, Sevilla. Villa doesn't, like a lot of the Villas in there didn't meet his targets at PSG or Arsenal. Yeah, the Arsenal were a shit show when he was there, though. I feel bad for him there too. But
Well, and he didn't meet his target there because it didn't have Villa in it. So
yeah, see, if they were Arsenal Villa, then it would be fine. But he's Mr. Europa League. I think he could be Mr. Champions League at some point in the future if he's gets the right club. Michael says it should be called sweepers. They're all sweeping up the cash. I agree. Like I said, it's the easiest job in the world. You'll never hear me weep for a manager when they get sacked because they're literally just wiping their tears with $100 bills, man. It's ridiculous. Like that. You guys ever see Zombieland? Look up Zombieland money. You'll know what I'm talking about. Yeah, these managers are crazy. Let's pivot here. Let's talk about January transfer window because we've got about a week and a half ish or so left to go. Now, the club reportedly met to speak with Carrick this past week about doing any business. If the right targets are available, whatever. I don't get that at all. Ben Jacobs came out with some nonsense this week about some mystery midfielder that United are looking at. I don't know if you saw that. They've played in Premier League. They're not playing in England right now. It's a loan, not Ruben Neves. So now everyone is basically like it's either Ruben Loftus-Cheek or it's Wilfred Ndidi. Now I think I saw somebody claim that Ndidi was offered to United on loan. Romano claims that there's not been any talks between United and Milan for Ruben Loftus-Cheek either. Who knows, man? It seems like it's all bollocks whatsoever. I'm just like, I given up almost hope on us signing a player. I put a poll in the chat. You guys are getting there, but I asked you guys, would you take Ndidi or Loftus-Cheek on loan, or would you maybe look to the youngsters? So far, 2/3 of you are going with loan because you think we need the experience. Well, only 33% are going with youth. Dylan, where do you stand on some of these ridiculous midfielder links and the rest of our January transfer window business?
I mean, what transfer business unless we sign some youngsters? But like, I don't see us signing anybody. That's just me. I don't really think Loftus-Cheek or Ndidi would do much for us. I mean, I'd take him, but I don't. I just see him being a rotation player for 6 months. I get why. I get that they want to be. You want to have some more solidity there, a little more experience, and that makes sense. But I just don't see him doing it. And is that going to take spots away from people like Sekou Kone, who might be able to get some time here? Maybe if we play West Ham, I think we play West Ham again. I don't remember the.
He's at Lausanne right now. He's training with Lausanne, and there's talks that he might go on loan. He's not like on loan. He's training over there right now to basically see would this be fit. I agree. I would have maybe he's not ready yet though. Where would somebody like Loftus-Cheek play in your opinion? Like you said, maybe he's going to be a rotation. Is he going to be rotating with Casemiro? Is he going to be rotating with For me, I see him as a Mainu rotation option personally. He is a bit more box to box. That's where you think, yeah. But, yeah, and like you're saying, it would be loan. He's not getting many minutes at Milan. When he does get starts, he does tend to have good matches. So I don't know. I mean, Milan have a lot of players. Obviously, Milan have been a bit of a shit show too these last couple of years. But would not be my first choice, Loftus-Cheek. But like you're saying, it'd be nice to get somebody in. Let's do some sort of business, right? I think Ruben Neves is just sitting there. I would even maybe go a cheeky bid for James Garner. Honestly, we've got teams facing relegation. Maybe go snap up João Gomez. I do think we need a rotation for Mainu, though. I think we've got Ugarte, we've got Casemiro to the end of the season at least. I need someone who's got a little bit more of the Mainu aspects to him. Personally, what do you guys say in the chat? Let us know what you guys think we will do. What would you do? Michael says, glad I found your podcast. It's nice to get an American perspective on things. Well, you know what? That just makes my heart sing, man, because so often than not, when in the past, not on the channel, when I have tried to speak about football and people hear my accent who are from other countries, they immediately disregard what I have to say, thinking I don't know what I'm talking about. And the thing I always tell them is, you want to hit the pitch sometime? Because we can go kick a ball around. I'll show you everything I know. But well, I do appreciate that, you guys. That's awesome, man. You get, you know what? You get one of these, Michael. Hold up. Legend, Michael. Legend. Appreciate that, man. Box is going with youth. Yeah. So who in the youth you think, if you say we didn't sign any of these guys on loan, who in the youth is ready? I mean, one name immediately springs to mind because he's already played, right? But who would you go with there?
Are we just talking midfielders?
Yeah, instead of like this Loftus Cheek kind of nonsense and this Ndidi. I think Ndidi would be a little bit redundant personally.
Yeah, I don't see Ndidi being one that would do that. I mean, it's going to depend on opposition. I don't really know. I don't really have somebody I feel's ready yet, like to really kind of take over, even though they've played already. So, I don't know. But who are you thinking?
Well, Fletcher has already played several. He played an entire half recently as well. He looks.
Is he going to play in Kobe's spot though, or because I'm thinking more defensive midfielder?
Because we've got two of those though. So Casemiro and Ugarte, and Ugarte's not been bad recently. He's like, I'd still sell him in the summer. I think we could still improve. But I look at our midfield situation, especially now that Bruno is back in the 10, and we've got Kobe, who's a bit more creative, box to box.
Okay.
We've got Casemiro, who's not super mobile, but he is defensive minded, and Ugarte, who's just, I'm going to run around and win this ball back real quick and cause problems. We need somebody, in my opinion. And that's what I think Loftus Cheek is. He is like that. He's basically a 30-year-old Manu almost in the way that he plays. I'm not saying he's got all the same skills, but that box-to-box kind of ball carrying will get stuck in a little bit off the ball. Rob has celebrated 6 months of membership. Big up, Rob. Been a member for 6 months. You get one of these too, bud. Golf clap for Rob, always united. Big up, man. Appreciate that. Love the memberships. You guys, while on the subject, I mean, shameless plug, memberships are the best way to get super involved in the content, not just emojis, not just badges, but you do get all sorts of stuff. I try to get you guys involved as much as you guys know. Scouting reports, starting 11 and Legends members can make suggestions for players for scouting reports. You can make suggestions for episodes of What If. It's season 4. We'll be wrapping up soon. I've got to find time. The last episode of season 4 is a big one. It has to do with the Super League, so keep that in mind. So it is a bit involved. Starting 11 Legends members can also get involved in the WhatsApp group as well. There's a link to that in the post section. And Legends members, if you are a Legend member, you can actually join in the Kickabout weekly show virtually, like Dylan's doing, like I'm doing. So keep that in mind, you guys. I'll try to hook you guys up as much as I can, as much as YouTube will allow me to do. So, but big up, you guys. So that's I think Fletcher has already shown that he can do it. He's raw. Yeah. Obviously, I'm not going to be like starting him against Arsenal, for instance, but that would be, if we're going to go with youth, that would probably be the one that I would probably start with, because he's already done it, right?
Yeah, and he could slide in into the Kobe role, like for me, because we just don't really have anybody yet to go into that more deeper lying defensive player. But yeah, that he'd work. I was just like, we don't have like somebody that we could trust for defensive midfield yet. They're still too young.
Yeah, and like Box says, Waits again. It's not that I think any of the other youngsters are bad. It's just I'm going with Fletcher off the top of my head because he's the only one who's got the first team experience so far, which is invaluable. I would love it if we could get someone experienced. The Martin says Loftus Cheek over Ndidi. To be honest, though, neither would be my first choice. Yeah. I wanted Ndidi a while ago.
When he was at Leicester.
I even spoke about him last year in my video I did where we picked 2 players from each of the relegation sides that I would take, and he was included on mine. So Stephanie says James Garner out of contract in the summer. He technically is. He does have they do have the +1 option, I think, on him as well, which is a bummer because that would be a no-brainer almost, in my opinion. He's been outstanding for Everton recently. Let's see. Box has got an interesting point here. Leacha at CM, Maguire and Dalot coming back. Interesting
Yeah,
stuff.
that could almost morph into a back five if we need it. Just have Leach in the center or off to the left.
Yeah. Michael brings up something you texted me about earlier. Cole Palmer, yeah. Yeah, you texted me and said that there's some report or something that's going around that he's not happy, right?
Yeah, I think it has to do with like he's not playing as much, and he didn't get along with Maresca, and it doesn't seem like it's really improved with Ross Senior. So
the manager,
yeah.
So. Tell me, did you see the nonsense from training from Chelsea this week? Oh, hold on. You keep going with some stuff. I'm gonna go find it. Hold on a second.
Just looking at Steph's comment. Toby Collier's going on loan. I didn't see that part.
He's going to Hull.
Oh, yeah. I didn't see that. Yeah, if Palmer would come there, that'd be a fun one. Manchester Rays. It, like you talked about when we were texting back and forth, injuries are kind of an issue right now. Just seeing like he's had quite a few injuries. He's almost giving me Mason Mount vibes.
Oh, he's missed a lot of football, bro.
Yeah. And Mount seems to finally be healthy a little bit. So knock on wood, that continues. But
hold up, I got to put this up here because so Liam Senior is just weird, right? Just straight up weird. So he had one of his coaches he slapped this on one of his coaches' forehead this week in training.
What's that say?
It says it's a piece of tape. It says always connected, dude.
What?
If I'm as old as this guy is, this guy's clearly what, late 50s, early 60s minimum, right? If I'm a freaking Premier League coach and this young manager comes up and slaps this on my forehead, I'm slapping him across his face and I'm quitting on the spot. Like, dude, F that, man. Seriously, F that noise. I'm not having that. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're freaking Carlo Ancelotti. I'm not wearing it. It's not happening, bro. It's not doing it. Yeah. Rose Senior is another one who's kind of weird in his pressers. He's talked about, I'm not just a manager, I'm a manager. Like, what? Bro, what? It's weird. Just don't.
Yeah.
You guys are funny, man. Let's see. Rob always nice says we come over. We were over there a couple weeks ago, man. We were over there for Boxing Day and Wolves clash as well. So, yeah, we shared some photos. Was it last week, Dylan, we did that show? Where we shared photos? So we shared a lot of photos. You can go check the post section of the channel. We met a couple of cool people. Rob Always United. We linked up with Stu from Tactical Devils. He was there with his brother and his nephews, and so we hooked up with them and hung out with them, had a drink. So Stupendous, as I now call him, top guy. Love Stu. Big up. So yeah, I forget where we were because I got sidetracked looking up Rose Senior's nonsense. So January, we got some options in youngsters. Most of it's 50-50 now in this poll here. Interesting.
We've made some changes based on our rhetoric.
Come on, power of the live show. Yeah, I would obviously, all things being ideal, I would sign someone like Ruben Neves, things like that, because January, it is what it is. I think that he could be good. Obviously, he would kind of like what we were just discussing. He would kind of be your instant Casemiro replacement. You'd still not have an ideal like Kobe Mainu replacement. Maybe Mount can do something. I still think Bruno could play kind of a Carrick role from that deeper thing, and you're giving a little license to get forward as well. Maybe Mount could come in and play 10 now and then and let Bruno kind of be a playmaker from deeper. Maybe when we need to unlock some mid blocks, you've got Mount in there with that energy, that running and stuff, and Bruno's kind of there dictating a little bit. Who knows? There are options now. Michael says he looks as old as me. I'd slap him with my pension book. Red Devil, big B5C, welcome. Chelsea must be a toxic environment if he wants to leave them to go back up to Manchester. I mean, he is a Manchester fan, Cole Palmer. We're kind of hopping all over the place right quick. Yes, that's what we were talking about. He's injured a lot. He's missed about 2 dozen or so
Yeah.
matches in the last 2 seasons. So this season he's missed like 18. Cole
Mm-hmm.
Palmer. So and it's these niggling like this groin thing that doesn't seem to want to go away. A lot of foot injuries, a little bit of a hamstring. Hamstrings are rough, man. They're the most commonly occurring sports injury, but they also are the most commonly recurring sports injury as well. They like as we've seen from a lot of our players over the years, they just don't go away, unfortunately. But yeah, I would have taken Cole Palmer a couple years ago, no problem, no questions asked. I'm gun shy when it comes to injury prone players now. I just am. I said this about Nuno Mendes. I said this about Alphonso Davies. I'm not. I was like this with Dalot and Mazraoui as well when we signed them. I was worried. So after Shaw, Martial, Varane, Jones, Mount, I'm just avoiding injury prone players like the plague. I need some availability from these signings now. Otherwise, you're just wasting money. Mount's on a lot of money. Like it's just not okay. Stephanie says Stew sponsored by Guinness. Other stouts. I mean, we were sponsored by Guinness. If we slipped and cut our leg while on that trip, we would have bled Guinness all
Guinness.
over the
Oh,
sidewalk.
we had so much Guinness.
I love England for the fact that you can wake up at 7, go downtown, get a full English with a side of Guinness, man. That's like Sean Heaven, man. It's amazing. I mean, technically you could do that here if you want to cook it yourself, but it is what it is. Yeah, VTech's doing well. He had an excellent save recently. We'll do another loan watch video. You guys know on the last international break, I did a loan watch and an academy watch stream. So we'll do that again once more towards the end of the season, once everybody gets settled. A lot of these new players are going back out. We recalled some players that are going back out, so we'll see how they end up doing.
Mm-hmm.
Minutes is important for them. Getting back to January though, I mean, we're running out of time. It's a lot of these links are very underwhelming. Indeed, he doesn't really do much for me. Loftus Cheek doesn't do anything for me either. Ben Jacobs mentioned Garner. He mentioned João Gomez, although I think Napoli are interested in João Gomez too as well. There are options. We've been linked to Casado at Barcelona this week as well from pretty reputable source. So we did a scouting report on Casado a couple weeks back, so you guys can go check that out if you want to know a little bit more about what he's all about. A lot of midfielders. Midfield seems to be the position that we're looking at. But it's difficult, like I said, to hold discussions with any players unless it's alone if we don't have a manager lined up. Can't be talking to guys like Anderson or Wharton, and then they're like, well, who's going to be manager? Oh, we don't know. Well, this could be a manager that uses me like Ruben Amorim would, or this could be a manager who uses me like Jose or Carrick. Like players are going to want to know that kind of stuff. And so that's what I mean when I say we can't just do Carrick, because we won't know if we do anything with Carrick until the end of the season. And by then, I don't want us to wait till the end of the season to start these conversations. We have to have our business done early.
Yes.
And this is all because Ineos don't know what they're doing. They've been so focused on financial stability, which I get is important, but they've literally just been winging it when it comes to transfers and the manager situation. I just don't get it, man. I saw Mateta wants to leave Palace. Would you take Mateta?
Sure. Yeah, he's consistent. He does well. I would have liked Elise, but I'd take Mateta.
If we still had Ten Hag, man, I wanted Elise so bad that summer, man. He has been one of the best players in the world, man.
He is just living it up in Munich right now.
I think he's the only player in the top leagues who's got more assists than Bruno right now, if I remember correctly. Missed the City game, says Red Devil. It was a good game. City got destroyed. Michael says Jones was okay. It was the pink boots. I don't question Jones' attitude. I have nothing but time for Phil Jones. It's not his fault that he's injured. It just is what it is. The pink boots I never really got mad about. What the Phil Jones memory that always sticks out to me is I had to do a double take. I had to do like diddle-diddling what when I saw Phil Jones taking the corner. When you see Phil Jones on the ball in the corner with his hands up looking, okay, you guys are ready? I was like, what is happening right now? What is literally what
I
is
descend
happening
into
right
a different universe now. What's happening?
I might put that on a shirt. Just Phil Jones in the corner. Just like,
Oh, you should, dude.
no.
You should.
No, not happening. Mateta, I'm not a big fan of Mateta, to be honest with you. I think that if we sign a striker, in my opinion, it needs to be someone who's a little different profile than Shesko. Someone for me, I would take like Jared Bowen and
Oh,
play
I'd
him
love to
up
have Jared
there.
Bowen. Come
I
on,
think
West
he's a
Ham, go down.
I think, yeah, right. I think he's a leader. Someone like that. Someone who's like a Julian Alvarez type or like a Marmouche type or a Mora at Wolfsburg type. Mobile, kind
Hey,
of a little different profile, right?
hands off by Wolfsburg players.
Dude, I've scouted. I've loved Omora since he was at Union, man, and he's such a good player. I like
Oh yeah,
Omora a lot.
boy, he's single-handedly, or not single-handed, but he's helping keep us up. So
Box says Phil Jones' corner is greater than Rice corner. Phil Jones' corner. I got nothing but Phil Jones was in the PFA class that I was in as well. He just graduated same time I did.
nice.
They want me to, so I called them the other day to check on when I get my. So I got my certificate for that finally, and while I was on the phone, the guy was like, "Oh, you're going to come to the graduation in September," and I'm like, "Where?" He's like, "In London." I'm like, "You want me to fly to London just for a graduation ceremony?" Like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. Like, is there a United match around that weekend? Because then we can talk. But yeah, it's I like you have to tell me soon, or else I can't wait too long if I'm gonna do because that's a lot of money. But yeah, probably not because I
Hey,
need to
but you
save
get
my
your away match in.
well, I need to save my miles for when we actually go again. So can't be wasting. I haven't gone to my last three graduations from. The only one I've gone to is high school. Did not go to bachelor's. Did not go to masters because there was a game on the day of the masters. So I was like, I think there's a game, you guys. So I'm gonna go watch this because that's how deep my loyalty runs, man. um, London road trip. It'd be a pretty long road trip from here. That's funny. Yeah, I did see that Freddie Mercury thing with Amram. You guys see that?
Mhm.
Red Devil says Mateta will be a good deal. Prefer Shesko over Watkins. Watkins is a purple patch player. Yeah, from what I've read, Amorim wanted Watkins over Shesko. It sounds like Amorim is kind of getting overruled a little bit, which probably contributed to his frustration. Personally, I'd be frustrated too, personally,
Oh
but
yeah,
it's it's a hard one, right? Because I get it. Manager needs players that they think are going to suit their system. The club has a picture of what we don't want to be in a situation where we have a Frankenstein squad. We've been doing that for 12 years now. We can't have Jose players, Louis players, all we can't have that anymore. I get it, but at the same time, you have to back your manager with players in general. Not to do anything in January like is just that's just not good enough, man. It's just not good enough. I don't. That's like, but I don't want this like any sign anyone, just anybody kind of mentality either. I can't handle that. So, any more thoughts on January business before we move on to?
I think we covered it. But like you said, I don't think we're doing anything, which is sad.
So far, the loaning experience players is one. So I'm going to end the poll there. 54% of you say they have won. So interesting. So let me lead this. Let me lead into this next segment with a question for everybody that you guys can answer. Are there any ex players who are actually good pundits?
Wow.
um, because I can't think of any off the top of my head, man. What do you make of this Nicky Butt, Paul Scholes, Keen, Carrick, Lisanne, all this kind of stuff that's been going on the last week, man?
Well, okay, so let's start with Keno because Keno always seems to like to hold grudges, and I think that's just part of his personality. But dude, you're 50 years old. Let it go. Like,
Yeah, I he's I agree. I think it was Simon Jordan. It's find myself agreeing with Simon Jordan a lot this week, which is scary in itself.
are you feeling okay? Are you having a stroke?
I don't know. I feel like this is the Book of Revelation almost. Just like this, something's happening. Because like Keno sometimes seems like he uses his platform on the overlap to kind of vent old grudges and stuff. Like it's
Mhm.
this opportunity to just keep bringing it up and stuff. Which is fine. Like I don't care if he and Sir Alex don't get along. I don't care if he doesn't rate the player. I really don't care. But like just kind of like what Nicky Button Skulls like. I feel like they kind of crossed the line this week with some of the stuff. Like I don't know what Keno was doing, bringing up Carrick's wife. Weird. Don't know what Nicky Butt and Paul Scholes were on about talking about Leach's height. That was weird.
They, I think they were trying to be funny, but it just kind of came off as crass. Um, and you're a pundit. You're there to talk about football. You're not criticizing people's physical attributes or other things going on outside of that. Now, if you can say, well, if it's affecting the club, you can talk about how that's affecting the club, and that's not good. You can talk about how their style of play might not be good, but
Yeah.
you don't need to go after anything else. And I think it's just getting a little carried away with certain things, but you know what? They're going to do their own thing. So
It's just weird, right? Like, so Simon Jordan said something else that I agree with. Again, I might need to go schedule a CAT scan or something. But he was like, ex players, like he said, they don't need to be cheerleaders for their club. Like, but to me, which I agree with, you don't have to just be, because you're an ex United player, you don't have to just always just kind of cheer on United and have nothing but good things. Like, be honest, but you don't have to you don't have to automatically just bash everybody every chance you get. And again, crossing the line is just like, it's crossing the line no matter how you slice it. It's not, because that's not analysis, that's not even criticism, that's just mockery, it's personal attacks, it's bringing someone's family into it.
yeah,
And then when Nicky Butt, they said that stuff, Leach kind of was asked about it after the match, and he kind of commented jokingly, and then Nicky Butt and Paul Scholes made a whole nother podcast about it after the fact. Like, at this point, he's doubling down. He's like, if he can't handle it, like, just grow up. Like, imagine responding. He's like responding to someone on a podcast, effing grow up. And he's like, if you can't, I'm like, you mocked his height like you're a bully in the schoolyard. Yet he's the one who's got to grow up. It doesn't make any sense to me
yeah,
whatsoever, man.
yeah. And I can sound like an old man now just because I deal with that school, but it's like, man, social media has changed everything and the way we interact with things. It's just you didn't have that when they were playing, when Keno was playing, when Scholesy and Buddy were playing. If there was criticism, it was at the pub, and you forgot about it. You might have had an article in the paper, but it's not live for everybody to see. So it's changed a lot, and I think if older players had criticized Keno, Scholesy, Buddy, Giggsy, all those other guys, and they probably didn't hear about it because you're going to talk about it with your friends, and you know what, that's what you're going to do.
Well, a lot of times they probably didn't hear about it, because it was 30 years ago. So no podcast, no YouTube, no nothing. Exactly. It was just paper or news. And if it did come up, Ferguson was the one who responded about it. Sir Alex would be the one responding and maybe needing to grow up, as Nicky Butt would say. Like, Fergie would literally just be like, no, this interview done. We're done. Yeah. It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
I don't get it. It's ad hominem fallacy from Nicky Butt this week. You guys can look that up. It basically is a form of gaslighting when it comes to like making fun of someone and then like telling them to grow up when they get upset about it is a fallacy. It's fallacious argument. Martin says, I personally don't care if he dislikes anyone. Keane has gone to places he doesn't need to touch. Stick to football. Yeah, I agree. I don't get the point. Again, that seemed like Keno having a grudge from like years ago and just deciding to bring it up publicly for no reason. It's just weird, dude.
Yeah.
Stephanie's pushing for 20 likes. Where are we at right now? Like, if we get to 20, I'll see what I can do about throwing out 5 memberships to everybody. Somebody keep me honest, though, because I'll forget because I'm old.
Let me look here.
Block says, Key just pissed off that his mate Ollie missed out on the 17. If we get 3 more, I'll go ahead and throw out a couple more memberships this month. Block says, Keen just pissed off his mate Ollie missed out. I read, too, that Keane was maybe being considered to be part of Ollie's coaching staff. Maybe that's why he's frustrated about it. Again, I don't know.
I can see that.
Yeah, the Martin, it is a bit childish. It's really weird, man. It's so weird. Rob says his height didn't stop him from pocketing. Yeah, exactly. And this is where I'm like...
Everybody else loved the memes this week, by the way, of putting him in his spot. Oh.
So Holland has failed to score, I think I read, in 6 of 7 matches that he's played against Leach. Leach pocketed him when he was back at Ajax and they would play Dortmund in the Champions League. Leach had him like in his pocket. And again, this is the other thing, like this whatever you want to call it, I don't even call it analysis or whatever. Like, it's not even knowledgeable. Even if you're gonna mock somebody, like at least do some research. Did you not learn from Carragher and Graham Souness when Leacham made them look like idiots a couple years back when they were making fun of his height?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why we even give Paul Scholes' analysis any credence. The guy has admitted he doesn't watch football. He says he doesn't watch football, so he doesn't know what he's talking about. And again, stuff like this, like it just is what it is. He's absolutely clueless. He didn't know anything about. He ripped on Dalot, I think, recently about like, oh, there's a reason, he's all these failed managers and why does he keep getting transferred? Like, there's a lot of reasons players get transferred, man. Go look up why Dalot got transferred. All those clubs. Juventus needed money, so that's why he moved to Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich kept changing managers and they kept bringing in defenders. Like, he had to go. Like, that's just the way it is. Do some research, bro.
Yep.
It's ridiculous, man. And I don't agree with Nicky Butt, who after all this season, like, oh, it's just a podcast. It's not a big deal. Like, it's not an excuse to say whatever you want and never have it questioned or challenged. Like, that's not okay.
That's and I'll be honest. I work at a school. That's what a bully says when they say it's not a big deal.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
like just grow up. Don't like. Why are you so sensitive? Again, that's an ad hominem fallacy. It's a fallacious argument. You can't do that. I saw too an announcement. Was it yesterday or today that now both Nicky Butt and Paul Scholes have signed contracts with a platform where they will now get paid for their opinions, basically. So
I guess that's what they were going for. They got what they wanted.
Yeah, you got to give it. I mean, it's ridiculous. And the podcast must not be doing well as they hoped because it's just controversy sells. Do you think? Here's a question for you guys. Maybe I'll make this a poll real quick. You guys, make sure you like and make sure you subscribe. I'm going to make this a poll for you guys while we do this because I want to know you guys' thoughts. Are these ex-United players tarnishing their legacy with their recent comments? All right, you guys can let me know your thoughts on that.
And I'm going to say yes on that and I'm going to compare it just to, who we had coming through before. I mean, you don't see that with the older group before the class of 92. Just saying that, like, Sir Bobby, Sir Dennis, they conducted themselves well.
A little bit of class, right?
A little bit of class. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. They had some class, and you can even see it with some of the other guys, like Steve Bruce. He might not be the best manager ever, but he still conducts himself with class wherever he goes and talks about United and things like that. So, it's just. It seems to be a little bit lost. Like, I think again, I think it's going to be just the modern age with trying to get the clicks and everything like that. I don't know.
I just don't get it. Like, even you and I can sit here and talk, and we'll be watching a game at like a pub or something. Like, I would never be like, oh, like Leach is short and Holland's going to pick him up and carry him because I know that that's just not true historically. And B, like, what is a player being short? Jules Koundé. A lot of people didn't want Jules Koundé when he was at Sevilla. They thought at 5'10", which is how tall Leach is not 5'7", like the article said the other day. They thought 5'10" was too short. But then when you deep it and go look at La Liga that season, Jules Koundé was like in the top 3 or 4 when it came to aerial duels won that season. Like, Jules Koundé was an absolute boss at Sevilla when he was there. Mm-hmm. Rodell says, the problem here we went with a manager in Ten Hag with too much transfer power to a manager with no transfer power. Yeah, and it's weird because it was such a different regime, and I think that Ten Hag's problem is not only that he had too much power, his talent identification was shit. Just honestly, like, I just don't think guys like Malacia are very good personally, or Anthony. Anthony was a world beater at Ajax to his credit, but it just didn't work out.
And he's doing well at Betis, so
yeah, that's his level. He found his level.
Like we said that, and there's nothing wrong with that. Just
yeah. Box says Scholes is funny, so deluded. If they're serious, go get Enrique now, boom, or go buy Tuchel. Didn't Scholes recommend Eddie Howe too, as well?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't. I think Carragher said that too. These guys want to sit here and like talk a big game, and then they want to recommend Eddie Howe. I have no problem with Eddie Howe. We talked about Eddie Howe in our amorim replacement video from a couple months back. You guys can go check that out. There is a link in the description as well if you want to look at 8 managers who could replace Ruben Amorim. Eddie Howe does a really good job getting the dressing room together. He plays good football. I just don't know if he's really an inspiring He's like the Loftus Cheek of manager signings, right? Didn't. Red Devil says Nicky Butt was never a great player. Was sold to Newcastle, couldn't make the United squad. I disagree respectfully there. Nicky Butt was actually, I thought he was very good for us. He was one of those just warrior kind of players in midfield. Personally, was he as good as some of the other players in the class of '92? No, but I think he was still a great player. That's high standards at that point. So I respectfully disagree, but to each his own. I have no problem with anyone disagreeing with anything I say or anything we say, as long as you just tell me why. Like, that's fine. So we welcome all perspectives.
And by the way, that is exactly what I try to tell my kids in class. It's like, we're supposed to have different opinions. Okay, we're not going to agree on everything, but please explain to me why. That's all I want to know.
Yeah.
Like when we do writings, that's the biggest thing. It's like, you can't just tell me this is the answer without explaining why you think this is the answer. So sorry, teacher moment. This was real life. This happened right in real time, so I had to acknowledge it.
This is what you get on the Kickabout, man. You get a little bit of psychology talk. You get a little bit of teacher talk. It's how we roll. You guys, I mean, I'm giving you free psychology lessons here, guys. Just pay attention. Box has got an interesting point. He says no legacies tarnished in his opinion. Separate their playing and post careers. I think it's. I mean, I definitely see how like that's a valid point. I think for a lot of people, it's hard, right? Like, we can look back at Ronaldo's career, for instance, but I cannot say with 100% of like chest that his interview with Piers Morgan didn't knock him down a couple pegs for me. He tarnished his, for me, Ronaldo tarnished his legacy a little bit with that Piers Morgan interview. It doesn't take much as a 50-year-old man in Nicky Butt to be like, you know what? I hold my hands up. It was a joke, but looking back, I could see maybe it was a little bit just childish. That's all you had to do, is just to hold your hands up as a grown adult and just admit that maybe you got it wrong or said something you shouldn't have said. But he's doubling down now in this week, which is now I'm like, Nicky Butt, what are you doing? But no, it's a good point, Box. If you can make that distinction in your heart and your head, and hey, more power to you, man. More power to you. 18 likes, 21 watching. Hey, 2 more. We get thrown out some memberships to everybody. So big up, you guys. Red Devil says, here's a question. Out of all of Sir Alex's ex-players, who was the most successful manager out of them all? I mean,
Laurent Blanc.
I can't. You're asking me to try to come up with every one of Sir Alex's previous players who's gone on to do management. I mean, you can look at Ollie. Ollie won Molde their first titles in years when he was there. He got us to Europa League final, finished second, finished third, went on a tremendous run. How are you measuring success? Is it just trophies or anything? I mean, Carrick, what he did at Middlesbrough contextually is actually very, very good. Things like that. That's a very difficult question to answer. It really would depend on how you measure success, because it's not just enough to say trophies. If you have to look at the content, like I said about Molde and whatnot, I think that plays into it too. That's a good question though. Who would your pick be? Red Devil, Dylan, do you have any off the top of your head that you're going to go with?
I'm trying to think of all of Sir Alex's players that are coaching.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I can't off the top. I mean, Van der Sar had really good. Well, he wasn't a manager, but he had really good success with Ajax. Yeah,
yeah. I mean, Laurent Blanc won League One with PSG, but that's kind of like as we talk about a farmers league.
Yeah, so, everybody wins. I could walk over there and win that fucking league with PSG. Man, it's ridiculous. Same way I could walk over to Bayern and win that league with Bayern. Like my wife couldn't pick out a football at Dick's Sporting Goods. She can go over there and win with Bayern.
Yeah, I guess maybe Ollie. He seems to be the one that has had the most impact.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, probably for me. I mean, he's the one that we're all going to have most connection with as a manager, right? So I don't really follow what Yap Stam did at Reading or FC Cincinnati or something. Yes, he did manage FC Cincinnati. I don't really. Yeah, I have no idea. The Martin says the problem is all the older players grew up in an era that was not news intensive. Yeah, it's like when people say like, "Oh, the world is so much worse now." I'm like, it wasn't worse. We just hear about it instantaneously.
That's
now.
The thing,
We didn't like 30 years ago. You'd never hear about it as much. It's always been shit. It's just the way it is. I did see that Ten Hag got a job as technical director at FC20. I think he managed there. He played there for a while, I believe, as well. I remember. Um, Red Devil says, one thing I like about Prime, you can turn off commentary. Unfortunately, with Sky, you can't do that. Wish you could turn off listen to Gary Neville. Gary Neville,
Yeah.
God love him. Sometimes he tries too hard to not let his United fandom show.
Yes.
Red Devil says, this is what I like about this chat. Everyone has opinions. Everyone is very respectful to each other. Yes, I do appreciate that. You guys, I do have mods. I haven't really needed to rely on the mods because you guys are all super cool, absolute legends, all of you. And as you can see when you go to the channel homepage, it does say at the top, it's fan opinion first, always. I never consider myself, even when I do solo shows, I never consider solo because I consider all of you guys my co-hosts and everything. I love, this is your guys' channel. I've said it many, many times. I'm just here to throw out the the topics. Big up Helga joining me. Welcome. How good to see you, man. I know you're a regular on Jarvis's channel, Tactical Devils. Also a good
Hello,
channel.
hello.
Big up Helga. Um, love it, love it, love it, love it. 19 likes, getting there. If we get to 20, I'll throw out five memberships. You guys. Steve Bruce had the longevity. That's true.
Yep, that's a big one.
Sparky also had some big times over here. He's managed a few clubs as well. Helga says, I think United players should be more tough-skinned. They are millionaires and shouldn't care about what people say. At the same time, positivity costs nothing. It's true. I will remind you, having a lot of money doesn't mean you don't feel emotions, right? Being rich doesn't exclude you from struggling with things. And I don't think Licha was at all upset about anything. I think honestly it's the opposite. I think Nicky Butt and Paul Scholes have been doubling down on a little bit of the childish behavior personally. But yeah, Stephanie says Steve Bruce, Mark Hughes had loads of jobs, Petrophilus. Yeah. Rob says, I'm not getting any YouTube notifications at all, guys. For like, you hit the bell on the channel. The bell is how you get notifications. YouTube has been really weird as well. Obviously, you guys can see it's showing your ats. It's not showing your nicknames and whatnot. So it's really weird. Helga says, also go ahead.
I was going to say, it might be a YouTube thing because I haven't been getting notifications either. This is the first one to come up today. So
interesting. Yeah, YouTube has been off and on the last little while. Twitter was down for a couple hours the other day as well. It's weird. Internet's weird, man. Helga says, people also act like, why does Martinez care? It wasn't like he came out with a bloody statement. He was literally asked, yeah, that's what I've said. And his response was like a joke. It wasn't like serious, like a lot of these guys are making it seem out to be. Like, I think Nicky Butt and Paul Scholes are being a little bit disingenuous. I think they are, it's like I said, Nicky Butt specifically has employed what's called an ad hominem fallacy, where you make a personal comment and then you want to deflect by saying, why are you taking it so personally? Like, that's a logical fallacy. You can't do that kind of stuff.
John, Steph has something to let us know.
What's that?
Steph has something to let us know.
Oh, where's it at? Hold up. Let me read Helga's chat real quick. If someone called me a baby, even if it's tongue in cheek, played against the world's best striker, it was amazing. Yeah, I would say. I mean, honestly, if I'm Leach, I'm just like, you can watch the match again if he's got anything else to say. So 20 likes. We got the 20 likes, says Steph. All right. As promised, let me go do this real quick, guys. Keep getting involved. Keep liking, please. Keep subscribing if you guys are new. I would love for you to see this get to 3K. Let's go ahead and throw out 5 memberships and see where all the lurkers are. This is the best part about giving away membership. You see the lurkers. So we're going to see those in a second here. But thank you, Steph, for reminding me, for keeping me honest. I am old. I will forget. And thank you, Dylan, for reminding me as well. Yeah, Martin says, Leach had no choice. Yeah, it is what it is, man. Like, it's so weird, dude. Let's see. So we got Michael Cady, welcome back. Neil Driscoll gets himself one. Luke Hilton, Muhammad Ali, float like a butterfly. Like, Lionhearts is back. Oh, man. Big up, Lionhearts. I see you lurking, Lionhearts. Big up, man. Thank you guys for all the likes as well. That's a big help. We love seeing the channel grow. I'd love to get to 3K before the end of January. If we can do that, that would be magic. We tried to get to 3K before Christmas, and Dylan and I were going to do a giveaway, and we were going to buy the winner something from the mega store while we were there. Obviously that didn't happen, but it is what it is. I'm going to say everyone is busy on Christmas, but Helga says, as a man in my late 20s, Butt and Co reminds me of those bitter 40 or 50. Hey, don't bash 40-year-olds. I'm 40. So look at all those loose young women in dresses. What a shame. They're just old. Yeah. Yeah. I know some people think that, I mean, I don't know where you stand on this, Dylan, on this theory that some of these ex-players do this on purpose so they can get inside the heads of the current squad and preserve their own legacy by basically influencing the mentality of the current squad. How do you
But
feel about that?
I
Do you
mean,
think that's a thing? Do you think that people are reaching?
oh, I think to a degree it can be. Um, but to me, that doesn't make sense because yes, it when something changes like that, when you're not on top, when you're not involved as much, it's it's hard to take. But you got to look at it as your generation was you were the best of your generation,
Yeah,
and you were great in your time. Like we don't look at the '68 team and say, oh, they're not good. We look at them with awe and admiration and just what they
yeah,
did, and that's
yeah. I don't
each
get that at all,
generation
man.
should be given that opportunity. So
Sir Bobby trained with the squad ahead of the
yeah.
'99 final. Like that, he just he cares about the club. He wants the club to do well. He should be Nick
Mhm.
the new button schools. If I'm anybody, it's going to be the Keno. Roy Keane is my Patronus. You guys know that. If you saw the shorts we put out when we were there, you saw my Keno Christmas sweater. I love that thing. That'll be a regular staple on. Helga says, I don't think 40-year-olds are old. I'm old. I feel old. I think bitter 40-year-olds are old. You get the difference. No, I totally agree. I'm just joking because I'm 40 and I feel it. Today I shoveled snow because it's been snowing for like a week and I feel every bit of 40 today, man. um, so I don't want to give this to. I know we've talked about it a lot tonight. We've talked about it a lot this week. Everybody's talking about it. I was more curious on your thoughts and everything, because I do think it's getting a little bit dramatic. It's getting a little bit over the top. I just don't. I mean, I think that at the end of the day, these players should want the club to do well. They should
Yes.
like. So it is what it is. It's interesting. Again, like I said, they've recently signed contracts with a platform where they're going to get paid for shit like this, and so maybe they're just building that up. I don't know. But speaking of the drama, you have sent me some stuff earlier today, and the Athletic gave us a little bit of update. So apparently, United have agreed to a multi-million deal with the production company Lionsgate to explore dramatized retelling of the club's storied history, similar in concept to The Crown. This is Line of Duty, which I think is a show. Creator Jed
Mhm.
Mercurio is going to be involved in this whole production thing. Go ahead, Dill.
I was just gonna say, uh, two shows that are pretty well done. I didn't watch The Crown, but I did watch a little bit of Line of Duty. So just saying, I enjoyed that show.
Oh, is it a good show?
Yeah. Um, I'm just gonna say now, as I apologize
Bye, Steph.
for Minnie. Bye, Steph. She's I've been away for a while, and she's very she wants my attention. So
Yeah,
that's
she's
sorry.
a
I
cat.
apologize for all the meowing.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Um, so how do you feel about this? Apparently, it's still in the developmental phase, not really sold or anything yet. I don't know how I feel about this.
I on the one hand, it'd be cool because we
Yeah,
kind of get these, like you said, dramatized retellings, provide a little bit of different, like get us back into that mode, especially like for '99 and things like that. But at the same time, do we really need it? I definitely want to play Ericsson. um,
that's funny.
um, but do we
Oops,
really
so sorry.
need it? Because we've got so many different documentaries and everything. Like you and me watched the '99 documentary when we were in Manchester.
Yeah,
Like, I don't necessarily think we need one. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what I expect from this. Could this be something that's like super dramatic, like Game of Thrones, maybe?
That
You
needs to be
know,
a shirt.
something that like depicting the reign of Sir Alex Ferguson and everything that he did. Maybe there's like this drama back and forth, families killing families and whatnot, whoever you want. Maybe it could be something like that, Game of Thrones wise. I do not know. Maybe it could be a comedy. Comedies are huge these days. Maybe it could be a comedy depicting where the club is at right now.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I like it.
Who knows? The Three Stooges, we could call it. I mean, maybe it would be copyright infringement, but that's all right. We saved a lot of money by not getting any players this month, so we can pay the copyright. So there's a lot of things you could do to depict the club right now. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
Um,
I
let's see what everyone's saying.
I agree with Helga there with the emotional manipulation. It's cash grab. They want the money.
Oh, it's definitely a cash grab, man. I mean, they're going to be obviously the club would get money and future royalties, according to the Athletic again. So future royalties will be shared between United and Lionsgate. The value would increase based on the number of seasons, the episodes, and all that stuff. I agree in the fact that I don't really. I mean, this wouldn't be done at the club. Maybe in the summer they would do some filming at the grounds. Maybe they're at like the cliff or something. But remember, like Amorim rejected the all or nothing thing on Amazon. And that basically United came last year, or Amazon wanted to do an all or nothing like City, like Arsenal, like Spurs. United actually, I read, would have paid more than those other clubs were, but Amorim turned it down. He didn't want to have a distraction, and I agree. I agree with that. But this, I don't think, would be as involved. Obviously, this would have
No.
nothing to do with the current squad. It'd be interesting. Who would play? Well, who would play some of these key characters? Do you think? That's interesting.
That's a good question. That should be put that out in a poll and see who we want. Like, start getting
That's
answers
funny.
in the comments. Man,
Yeah, who would? Well, why don't we just start with who would play Sir Alex? How's that sound?
I'm trying
That's
to
a tough
think
one.
who would be a good.
That's a tough one.
Hey, we could age up. We could put prosthetic makeup on Gerard Butler so he could just yell at people.
Gerard Butler. Does it need to be a Scottish actor? Do you think?
Probably just get the bros right. Probably
I
said that wrong.
mean,
I apologize to everybody.
who could play Sir Alex? Um, Interesting. Gary Oldman is a United fan. Could he play Sir Alex?
Yeah, later years probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brennan Gleeson is someone's name here. Interesting. Ooh, Liam Neeson. I could get down for Liam Neeson. Isn't he? He's Irish, I think, right?
Yeah, he might be able to
I
do
can
it.
get down. I can get down for Liam Neeson playing Sir Alex. I can get down for that. Interesting. Okay, so swear down. We barely came out with one doc series in Ferguson's 26 years after we'd come out with 10. There's like a lot of United movies and series. Obviously Sir Alex had one a couple of years ago. Class of '92, about a decade or so ago, which is really cool. I like that one. Let's see. Rob Always United is gifted 5 United
Legend.
memberships of his own. Absolute legend. You get one of these too. Rob Always United, man. Love boxes. Kevin Hart to play Evra. Nice. Love seeing people get involved in the chat, man. You guys are the best community, man. I love it. Yeah, it does seem like the club. It seems like we would have more series and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Almost seems like it. Sometimes I feel like we're kind of above that, and other times I just feel like it's just. Do we want like something? Do we want behind the scenes right now with what's going on? I wouldn't want to know that all that stuff. Look at all those lurkers. Big up lurkers. Ian McKellen would 1,000,000% play Sir Jim. They talk and look the same. Oh no! Now you're gonna ruin Ian McKellen for me, man. No, David Lammy to play. Who's David Lammy? I gotta look this guy up now. Hold up, doing a David Lammy check. Who's David Lammy? Interesting. That must be he's an MP. Is like that's a UK thing, right? Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Member of Parliament.
Yeah. Oh, gotcha. See, look at you. You know stuff. But big up, Rob Always United, man. Absolute legend. Yeah, that might be a fun video for the future. Casting
There we
the
go.
United drama. You do know that I will be working on that. Like,
100%.
my scouting report special's done. I've got nothing but time now. I got to do the Arsenal preview. Fuck it.
You're staying in the house this cold weekend.
Yeah. Arsenal preview will probably be Friday, Saturday. Scouting report special probably tomorrow. So keep a lookout for that one, you guys. But final thoughts on this series. If you had to choose right now, would it be like drama? Would it be like comedy? What do you think it would be? What would you do if you had your choice? If you were making it?
I'd make it a drama.
Yeah.
That's just me. But
it's just going to be historical, basically. I mean,
yeah, but if they're going to go comedy, they really got to lean into it.
I mean, just all you got to do is just watch us these days. Who said something earlier, though, that the club just does these things when we're poor. Look at all the things we. Yeah, I do feel like it does seem like a bit of, hey, we were really good once. Let's remind everybody who may not have been alive at that time. James McAvoy for younger, Brian Cox.
I
Interesting.
like that. I
You
like
guys are
that.
doing all. Yeah. See, Helga, this is what I mean. Like YouTube is being weird. There was a stream the
Yeah.
other day where someone comment popped up like 4 times. So it's really, really weird. Probably because it was so good. um, let's see. So interesting stuff, man. It's interesting. Good chat tonight, man. It was a really good chat, you
It's
guys.
been
I love seeing everybody getting involved. Keep a lookout. Like I said, tomorrow, scouting report special. I've got 6 players that I will be highlighting on that one. So I'm excited. For a couple of them play in England. One of them plays in Mexico as well. One of them plays for an academy in the Netherlands. So interesting stuff. We'll have the Arsenal preview as well. So keep a lookout. Hopefully, we can roll on. Like Dylan, right now, prediction for Arsenal while I got you here.
1-1.
1-1. That was my prediction for the Derby. So who's playing the lunch ladies, Helga? That's who I want to know. Well, who's going to play the lunch ladies? That's interesting stuff. The Martin says the club has been a mixture of comedy and drama. Well, yeah, comedy is what tragedy, just with timing, right? That's just what it is.
Let's do it like I can't remember that. And everybody in the UK, I apologize for this immensely. What was that comedy series they had? It was about the bureaucrats that fire everybody in the UK.
I don't know.
I know
Is it a
the
UK
chat
show?
might be able to help me. Yeah, it's a UK show.
I might not know it.
I can't remember who it. The Peter Capaldi played one of the guys.
Interesting. He could play Arsene Wenger.
He could.
Just saying.
I can't. I watched a little bit of it, and that was such a good. Not The Office.
Interesting. I don't know. Dylan's gonna look it up.
Hold on, everybody.
No, you're good, man. You're good. I'm just gonna remind everybody stuff while you look it up. Dylan, you do. You guys make sure you like them before you guys do the thick of it. Is that what it's called? I don't know what that is.
Sorry. Sorry. That was like an over the top sort of like comedy. At least my thoughts was I liked it. So
take it easy, Michael. Good to see you in the chat, man. Good to see a new face in here. Helga, you as well. By the way, if you were 40 year old, I appreciate that. Yeah, I got Leonardo DiCaprio disease. I'm always gonna look like I'm like 32. It is what it is. But I appreciate that. You guys, make sure you're liking before you take off. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. 77% of you do think that this tarnishes X players' legacy. So I'm going to end the poll there. Please hype some of these old streams on your phones, on your mobiles, if you can. It does help a lot. Check out the memberships as well. We have gifted several memberships tonight. So big up everybody in the chat for getting involved, getting us all those likes, and big up Rob Always United for gifting 5 more out of the kindness of his heart. You guys are awesome. Helga, you're an absolute legend for tuning in at 2 a.m., brother.
Star, man.
Big up Bodo Glimp too, by the way. You guys they dominated City yesterday. It was
made us all proud.
Jens Peter Helga, man, I'm telling you, I did that scouting report on him a couple weeks back. He's a good player. But you guys, we're going to wrap it up there. Please go ahead, like, subscribe. Check the store as well, you guys. Again, you can see in the corner, it is a 20% off sale right now in the United vs. Everybody store. If you scroll down a little bit below your video player, you will see some samples of the products in there. There's a King Cantona, there's a Good United shirt, there's all sorts of stuff. We got women's clothes, we got baby clothes, mugs, as you guys have seen here, my Fergie time mug. Love this thing. But appreciate you guys stopping by. You guys are it's always a great conversation. Dylan, say goodnight to the lovely people, and we'll let you get back to what you're doing.
Good night, everybody. Thank you all. Great chat tonight. It's always fun to be on here and interact with everybody. So I hope you all have a great night and enjoy yourselves. Thank you so much, Sean.
Appreciate you guys. You guys are all legends. We love you guys. We'll see you guys on the next one. Maybe next week, casting the United drama. All right, guys. Have a good one. Peace.
Take it easy, everybody.